Hi, I'm Rach from Mellow. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're just starting out with crochet and you've searched for crochet supplies or what do I need to get started with crochet and seen those 60, 100 piece kits from Amazon, from Temu, and thought, like, do I really need all of this? The answer is no. There are only 4 things you actually need to buy if you want to start crocheting. In this video, I'll cover off what those things are, where you can get decent quality crochet supplies in Australia, what items you can skip, and what items can be fun to splurge on if you do want to get a little bit deeper into the hobby. Okay, so firstly with what you don't need. What you don't need is a 60-piece kit. So what actually gave me the idea for doing this video is that I received a message from a company that sells one of these kind of 60-piece crochet kits, offering to send me a free kit in return for marketing it on my channel, and they would give me an affiliate link and I would get a commission for however many of these were sold. But I declined that offer because these kits are just really unnecessary. They include a lot of waste, a lot of plastic. Most of these items you'll never use, even as an experienced crocheter. Some of them are not even for crochet, they're for knitting, and I think will just cause confusion to beginners who don't even really know what the thing is or how you're supposed to use it. And also, starting crochet just doesn't need to be that intimidating. There's literally only 4 things that you need to be able to start to do it. And that's yarn, crochet hook, tapestry needle, and some scissors. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think is worth investing in even as a beginner, what things I think you can skip, and what things are kind of fun to splurge on if you get a little bit deeper into the hobby. So the one item that is absolutely necessary is obviously a crochet hook. Crochet hooks are also the one thing that I would actually suggest investing in a decent quality version right from the start. If it's the first time you're trying the hobby and you're not sure if it's actually going to stick as a hobby, then by all means buy an affordable set of crochet hooks before you kind of splash out on something decent quality. But as soon as you've decided that crochet is going to be a hobby that you're going to stick with, I think it's actually worth investing in good quality hooks sooner rather than later. And the reason for that is that the quality of the crochet hooks will actually impact your experience of crochet significantly. Beginners actually end up making things harder for themselves by using poor quality hooks without realizing how much easier it is to work with a good quality hook. So 2 great brands to consider if you're wanting to invest in good quality hooks are Clover and Tulip. So Clover is a Japanese embroidery fiber crafts brand. They do really good quality stuff. Their hand sewing stuff and embroidery stuff is really great as well. And the Clover Amour crochet hooks are a absolute fan favorite in the crochet community, and they're also my personal favorite. So these are a couple of my Clover Amour crochet hooks. You'll notice a lot of the cheaper hooks that you'll see around kind of will dupe or kind of look like these hooks. And people often talk about the fact that when you start using the Clover Amour hooks, you can't really go back. They're just really smooth and nice to work with, and they make your crocheting go a little bit faster than hooks that are a little bit rougher. And that's largely because the hooks are really smooth, so the yarn just glides a little bit easier across the hook than compared to lower quality hooks. Another great brand that I really love is the Tulip Idemo hooks. So I've got this little set here. I love this little case that it comes in. It has a little cord for your embroidery needle, and it comes with a little ruler. These are also really smooth and lovely to work with. I actually find them a little bit more slippy than my Clover Amour hooks, which I like for some kinds of yarn. Other types of yarn I prefer using the Clover, but this is another great brand. So in terms of where to get these in Australia, as I previously mentioned in my shopping for yarn at Spotlight video, Spotlight's actually not a great place to buy crochet supplies or crochet hooks. The brands that they stock are just pretty average quality. So I actually think the best place to buy crochet hooks in Australia is on Amazon or online, or at local yarn stores. So local yarn stores will often stock Clover and Tulip and some of the better quality crochet brands. But if you don't have a local yarn store near you, then Amazon is a pretty good bet. So I think I got my Tulip Idemo from a yarn store online, but I got my Clover Amours from Amazon. The good thing about Clover Amours as well is they do actually sell the hooks individually. So if you do want to try them out, but you're not quite ready to make the commitment of a full set, you can buy individual ones and then just build up your collection over time. I think this is a really good option for beginners because you're probably only really going to use 3, maybe 4 sizes of crochet hook when you're starting out. you probably want to start with a 3, a 4, a 5 and a 6, or some combination of those, and that will probably last you for quite a long time. You're probably not going to use the really small crochet hooks until you've been crocheting for quite a while. The one thing to be aware of with buying on Amazon though is that there are fakes out there. I like to buy my Clover stuff through Amazon, but I buy it directly from the Clover store. So just check where you're buying it from, check the reviews, and just make sure it's a legitimate version before you purchase. The other thing I'll just quickly note about crochet hooks is there are actually two types, inline and tapered, and this refers to the shape of the hook. One isn't better than the other, it's really a personal preference, but it's something just to keep in mind, because if you try one crochet hook and really like it, try another one and you don't, it might be because you've got a preference for either inline or tapered. So that is something just to keep in mind when you're deciding which hooks to buy. Okay, so the other thing that you obviously need to be able to crochet is yarn. Yarn is a whole other topic. And I've done a number of videos about buying yarn for crochet, including where to buy yarn in Australia and also characteristics or things to think about when choosing the yarn for your project. So I'll link those videos in the description below. Okay, so then the next thing you need is some scissors. Now obviously you can use any scissors that you have lying around the home, and really this is just to finish off your piece, you'll need to cut it. So not something you really need to go out and buy anything special for, although I do love my Stork scissors. These are a type of embroidery scissor, and I just like that they're small, they're really sharp, so they cut really cleanly. And I have a pair of these kind of scattered around my house really in all the different places that I like to crochet. So that can be a nice little thing to buy if you are wanting some scissors dedicated to your crochet practice. And then the fourth and final thing that you need is a tapestry needle. So the reason you need a tapestry needle is just to weave in your ends so that they don't become unraveled, which is a really important step. The Kmart kits that I do tutorials for will generally include plastic tapestry needles. These are really horrible to work with. Tapestry needles don't cost very much, so it's definitely something I think that's worth investing in some metal ones. There's a few different types. You've got ones that kind of have a bent end like this, which can make it a little bit easier to work into your stitches, or straight ones. The main thing to know about tapestry needles is that they are blunt. So they're not designed to pierce through fabric like an embroidery needle, they're designed to weave through yarn. Sometimes they're called wool needles, sometimes they're called tapestry needles. You can get packs of these at Spotlight on Amazon. They're pretty cheap and pretty easy to get hold of, and there isn't really a quality dimension in my experience. The cheap ones will do the job completely fine. Okay, so those four things are the only things that you need. There are some things though that will improve your crochet experience, which can be worth investing in as well. So one, stitch markers. Now the reason I didn't include stitch markers in the necessary column is only because you can use things around your home for stitch markers. So stitch markers are really important, especially when you're learning, because you need them to keep track of the ends of your work so you don't accidentally add or drop stitches, but also you need them just to secure your work when you're not working on it so it doesn't come undone. The reason you don't need to buy any is that you can use bobby pins, safety pins, you can even use a little scrap of yarn to lay over your stitch in place of a stitch marker. Having said that, you can get kind of packs of plastic stitch markers. I got this from Kmart pretty cheaply, and you will use them a lot. So I think it is generally worth investing in some stitch markers. It's not going to cost too much and you definitely will use them. I've more recently started to buy some more fun stitch markers. So these are some that I got from 1121 Windmills. I actually did an advent with them this year, and there are some really cute and cool stitch markers you can find out there. I'll link some that I really love in the description box below. Obviously this is not necessary. The plastic stitch markers work just as well and actually better. These are probably functionally a little bit harder to use than the basic plastic ones, but I just kind of enjoy bringing a little bit of joy and whimsy to my crochet, so I've kind of been enjoying buying nice stitch markers when I see them. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that you might want to splurge on as you get more into the hobby. This list might also give some ideas if you're wanting to buy some gift for a crocheter in your life. None of these things are necessary. They're definitely not things that you need to buy when you're first starting out, but there are things that you might enjoy using, might make your crocheting life more fun and easy as you get more into the hobby. So firstly, project bags. So project bags are really just a way to store your works in progress as you work on them. Definitely not something that you need to buy. You've probably got a million tote bags lying around at home you can use. I actually like to use the kind of cotton bags that like pajama sets come in for my project bags, or like the dust covers that you might get a handbag comes in. They work really well as project bags. I think generally anything with a drawstring is good. Zips can be a little bit annoying with yarn. It can the yarn can get stuck in the teeth of the zip. So generally drawstring bags are best. I also have a bunch of little baskets that I've crocheted using scrap yarn, which I also use to store projects that I'm working on in. So this is another kind of pajama bag. But if you are wanting to splurge on your hobby, project bags can be a really fun way to do that. So I have recently just bought some project bags from OT Bear Designs. I will link their Etsy in the description below. So I got this cute little kind of vegetable print one with a matching little pouch. I like having the pouch so that I can keep the relevant crochet hooks and stitch markers with my project. Some people like to do that, some people like to keep their crochet hooks all together. I just find it's easy to be able to pick up your bag and know that you've got everything that you need to start working on that project. This was another larger project bag that I got from OT Bear Designs with another little matching notions pouch. And this one I got from Madeit. I will link the seller in the description below. It's a hand dyed Japanese rice bag. So it just kind of closes up like that. There's some really beautiful handmade project bags that you can find on Madeit and on Etsy. So another bag that I really love is my solar bag. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This I bought on Etsy. It's actually made by someone that does clay work. So it's sort of initially designed to be for clay tools. But these little pockets on the side here are perfect for crochet hooks. So I keep a lot of my, my crochet hooks in the side of the bag here. It's got lots of great pockets. I have my little row counter on the side here, and it's got a kind of open top there. So I use this more as my like general crochet bag that's kind of got all my base supplies in it, as opposed to a bag for individual projects. They also have little pouches, so I recently got this one as well, which again might be a good kind of starter option if you don't have much in the way of supplies just yet. So I'll link their Etsy shop down in the description below as well. So the next item on the kind of optional list is blocking mats and pins. So blocking is essentially where you wet your crochet work, whether that's with steam or with water, and then pin it into shape and let it dry. And it's a great way to just even out your stitches and even out the shape of your work. You don't need blocking mats or pins to be able to block. You can use cardboard and just pins that you have lying around. You can also use the top of your ironing board. So this is definitely something I wouldn't invest in right away, but if you do start doing more crochet, and particularly if you do wearables, then you probably want to invest in some blocking mats and pins at some point. So I've got these blocking mats that have the grid lines on them, which can make it easier to kind of stretch out your work into a uniform shape, and these pins which are rust proof and designed specifically for blocking. Next thing on the list is a yarn winder and a yarn swift. This is definitely not something that you need as a beginner, and generally is a bigger purchase, so it's one that you probably only want to make once you've gone really deep into the hobby. But the purpose of a yarn winder is just to wind your balls of yarn into a cake. Now the main reason that you might want to do that is if you're buying yarn in a hank, which is like this. Often hand-dyed yarns, the kind of more expensive yarns, tend to come in this formation, and you can't work straight from this formation. It'll get all knotted and tangled, so you do need to wind it into either a ball or a cake. So if you buy a lot of this kind of yarn, it's definitely worth getting a yarn winder, but they are expensive. Generally, you're going to be probably starting out with yarn that's already in a ball or in a cake, and so you don't need a winder. Also, many local yarn stores will wind your yarn for you, sometimes for free, sometimes for a small fee. So it's definitely not something that you need to worry about when you're starting out. I recently kind of splurged on a Stanwood yarn winder because I read really good reviews about it. I had to get it from the States. It cost quite a lot in shipping, but I absolutely love it and was definitely worth it for me, but only really because I do buy so much yarn that does need to be wound. It was kind of a worthwhile investment for me, but definitely not something that you need as a beginner. And then associated with the yarn winder is a swift, and this is just a way essentially to hold your hanks of yarn tight while you wind them on your yarn winder. So again, I'll link the ones that I have down in the description below, but be rest assured that if you're a beginner, this is not something that you really need to worry about. Another thing that is definitely optional, some people like it, some people don't, is using yarn bowls. So this is just really a way to store your ball of yarn as you're working with it, and it can stop it kind of rolling around on the floor, especially if you are working from the outside of your ball of yarn. I personally don't use yarn balls. I do like using yarn holders where the yarn spins for certain kinds of yarn. So if you are getting frustrated with managing your yarn as you're working with it, these types of items can be worth looking into. Another thing that can be really handy to have is a measuring tape. You can get these kind of ones or kind of more of the tailor's loose tapes. The main reason you'll want a tape is really for measuring gauge swatches. So if you're starting to make wearables or clothing, generally you'll want to do a gauge swatch to make sure you're getting the dimensions right. You'll probably also want to measure your own measurements to figure out sizes, and particularly if you're using a made to measure pattern. So measuring tape can be a really handy thing to have in your crochet kit as well. Another thing that can be handy, particularly if you are making clothing, is these kind of quilting clips. So I use these essentially to kind of clip the pieces of my work together while I'm sewing them up. But that's it really. As I said at the start, the only things you actually need to get started with crochet are a crochet hook, yarn, tapestry needles and scissors. Everything else is optional. If you are wanting to splurge a little bit on your crochet hobby, then I think things like project bags, fun stitch markers can be a fun thing to look into. And there are some things that you might want to invest in down the track when you're ready to level up your hobby, like yarn winders and swifts. So in terms of where to buy all of these things, as I mentioned, I think crochet hooks, definitely Amazon is your best bet, or your local yarn store. You can also buy directly from the brand's website. When it comes to project bags, I definitely recommend going handmade, checking out madeit.com.au and Etsy as well. Tapestry needles and stitch markers, really I think you can get these anywhere. The quality doesn't matter so much. Spotlight, Kmart, all of those kind of places will have ones that will do the job just fine. And then some of the more specialty stuff like blocking mats and pins, yarn winders, yarn swifts, again I think Amazon or online retailers are generally the best place to look for these things in Australia. Good quality local yarn stores will also have some of these as well, although potentially not a massive range. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful and it's made the idea of getting into crochet a little bit less intimidating. As I said, you can really start with the basics and just add to your set of crochet supplies as you go. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you found it useful. And if you made it to this point in the video, I'm so grateful. You are my people, and I'm so glad that you made your way here. If you're enjoying learning crochet, then be sure to subscribe and like for more beginner inspiration, tutorials and patterns. I also design and sell crochet kits, which you can find in my YouTube storefront. Two of the kits that I have available at the moment include the First Stitch, which is designed to be an ideal, accessible first ever crochet project, and my Learn to Crochet kit, which is a more comprehensive masterclass covering all of the major stitches and techniques that you'll want to learn as a beginner crocheter. What makes these kits a little bit different from others that you'll find on the market is that I've very thoughtfully designed them to be ideal for beginners. So the First Stitch is specifically designed to be easy, approachable, and avoid some of the common challenges that beginners face when starting out. The Learn to Crochet kit is designed to build your skills as you work through each project. That way you're not just following the instructions, but you're actually learning about crochet and building your confidence as you work through the kit. If you ever want to say thanks for a tutorial that you've found useful, you can buy me a coffee down in the link below. But mostly just thanks so much for crocheting with me today, because making should be mellow.